Hey there ladies, don't forget to subscribe to Sassy Sexy Save TV, and as well don't forget to check out our blog www.sassysexysave.com. All information can be found there if you want some more information in regards to what Sassy Sexy Save is all about. So don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. We want to grow and be better together, so don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah.
Thanks again for joining us here, you guys. Talks with Dad here on our channel. Again, those who are new here to our channel, welcome. And here we're going to be talking about current events as well as our life experiences. And like I said, along the way, I'll be having you guys ask my dad some questions. We'll do our best to answer them to help us, again, grow and be better together. All this we're going to be talking about through a biblical point of view. Like I said, we want to grow and be better together. So God's word and his plans he has for us, they're never going to be far behind in any of our conversations that we have here. So we want to always grow and be better together with all that we're doing. So today, or this month, it's Black History Month. Of course, we're black every day.
Every day.
But we're gonna, of course, we're gonna put a little bit more of a little emphasis on it.
Right.
But again, my dad's here. He's gonna tell us a little bit in regards to his experience. I don't want to say his experience growing up black, because that's not the right phrase I'm looking for. But he's gonna talk about
some experience growing up black and growing up in the world. But yeah, there's our experiences.
Yeah, we do want to encourage our history to our children, to our nieces, our nephews, our cousins, moms, dads, all of that. We don't want our history to go away. I'm still finding out new information even in regards to our history, which is always a plus and shocking sometimes. Like, why aren't they teaching some of these things? But but we're gonna.
It is American history.
Yeah, that's what I understand. So we are gonna talk about it today.
Right.
So black episode. I don't know. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah.
But growing up within your household, Jad, how did you kind of get to grips with Black history? Was it something that was taught? Was it something you found out on your own? Because I know you kind of grew up during NWA type of situation, type of days.
Well, you know, when I look at it as, even when you talk about like music, NWA, that's a music, that's a group. You know, Public Enemy. You know, all in the '80s. You know, listening to those songs. But when you really look at the issue, is that those songs that I listened to was experiences growing up as a teenager, as a black man, teenager, black boy, and then becoming an adult, and then still experience some things. So I understood some of those songs because I felt that way. But I realized you can't always have those negative thoughts. Even though you have, as my pastor would say, a dominant culture, you know, but when you really understand it as a person, and as a black person, that it's sad to say, but there are some, seem like rights that really does not apply to us. Or I felt at a time to where the law, or the criminal justice system was actually set against me because the way it was set up, it made no sense. But you learn how to adjust with it. But you know, what we just know that just happened, you know, about the country changing, is that, to be honest with you, all these years we should not be dealing with.
We're still right now
with black and white. Like, I know you're black, I know you're white, I know you're Native American, I know you this, I know you that, but it shouldn't be when I know what you are, I should look at you a certain way.
There's an automatic assumption like, oh,
right, exactly.
May do something or did do something or whatever it may be. That's always assumed. We're always the ones that are, oh, you fit the description. I'm like, okay, that could be anybody, but okay.
But you think about it, I'm bald head. How many black men you know that's bald head? So I can always put a description if you're bald head. You know, so it's just, and it's sad. Sometimes you have to be more aware, you know, look out, because you just don't know. You know?
So how do you take those experiences, or like I said, growing up within your household, how or when do you like kind of have that mindset of, okay, it's important for me to know my history, and taking that history and passing it on to the next generation? Because I mean, we do have these experiences that can make us feel like, well, this is unfortunate. Like, okay, well, I'm just gonna just be alone in my lonesome, be mad all the time, and things like that. Or even sometimes with people, or even Black people hear stories about slavery, we kind of tune out because we don't want to hear it, because you hear it so much, slaves. But I'm like, our history doesn't really start with that. So how do we get past that mindset of what someone else is telling us, and then growing from there? Like, okay, this is our culture. We truly cultivated something. We truly made something. We got to pass this on and not just give up.
Right. Well, I've learned through the years is that I come far beyond, as they say, the South, slaves. That was a 400-year our ancestors being slaves. But then what about the other millions of years in Africa where our people were, and kings and queens, and like everyone had wars, everyone had slaves, but America's slave was the worst slave when you look at history, because it actually took away your identity.
Who you are.
It took away your language. It took away your roots. So
your rights.
Only thing we could do was go back to the South, or the slavery. But it's very important for us to find out where we come from across the water. Africa. On one end, I have to say I'm glad that I really accepted the gospel of Jesus Christ, and knowing that it wasn't just a white man's gospel, but it's a gospel for everyone. When you read the scripture and learn it and understand that Jesus wasn't a black man, he was a Jew. So it wasn't like it was a racist thing.
No, I know, yeah.
So or I like Jesus because he's black, or I like him just because he's a Jewish person, but I like Jesus, love Jesus because he's my Savior, and I understand that. So I had to teach you and your brothers and sisters when you guys was little on really embracing who you are as a black person, and even though other people may look at you in a different way, or troublemaker, or they look at you, you have a lot of children, or looking at you, or you can't keep a job, or looking at you as you're lazy, but we know that those things aren't true or real about you. So you have to have that.
I feel like you have to have a sense of self-worth, and it's good to have a sense of
that's important.
Ancestry kind of behind you, because I remember the first time I voted, I think was by mail, and I was in college, and it was so much fun. It was so great. Literally, the first time I was able to vote was when Obama was in office, so I was freaking out in the best way. I was like, this is awesome. 2008, I was freaking out, yay!
And I was excited about it.
I was like, what? In my lifetime? I was like, wait, huh?
right. And I didn't think it would be in my lifetime. And what I loved about when President Obama became president, and understanding our history as black people, that actually on the White House grounds they used to do slave auctions, and then to have the first African American black man become president, lets me know that all those years of depression, or they say dominant culture tried to keep you down when you can't read. It's against the law to read, or you got black water fountain, white water fountain, the Jim Crow, and all those things. Now it all makes sense that where you saw something in me, to where I was doing all I can not to let you reach your potential. But that's why I love the gospel, because it helped me to understand that Jim Crow or dominant culture, you didn't create me. God created me in his image. And just so happened he decided to give me a nice brown color.
And you truly have no say in regards to what God's plans are. Because even in the midst of all this crazy hatred and crazy, really unrealistic laws and things like that, God is still in the presence of all this, okay.
Right.
I guess I'll be on. I know exactly what I'm about to do.
And you don't understand it,
because of course during the time, of course I wasn't born in the 1950s or during those time frame, but during the time going through that, there has to be, the church during that time was the true backbone to civil rights movement. That's where we met for our meetings. That's where we met for prayer. That's where we met. That was everything during that time. It truly was. The church was truly not saying church should be for everyone, but during that time frame, it was, the church is everything to black people right now. We need something right now.
Right. And that's where we had our prayer. For an example, John Lewis. doing history on John Lewis, because the more I learned about me as a black man, the more excited I got. But when I hear the history of John Lewis, how it was 500 African Americans in church and praying, knowing that they got to cross this bridge to go vote, and they call it Bloody Sunday.
That's like, we about to go through.
Yes, we need to do this. So when I think about this whole situation, is that we have a strong history in church. That's our backbone. That's our foundation that gives us strength. You know, where all men are created equal. You know, some of that comes from the scripture. God created in the image of his likeness. So I gotta understand, it doesn't matter what you say to me, like I want to raise my kid. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter how people look at you. It doesn't matter if people look at your color. People say, I don't see color. Well, I hate to tell you, I see color all over. But I can respect you based on what I see in your color. So that would make me feel good and raise my children. Now they're grown now, their children. But to carry myself as a proud man, but also as a proud black man in America. Because when you really look at the situation, we built the country. So why am I sad? Just give me the due. You know, but we should not be still having a racist or having this what do they call it, hidden racism.
Yeah, when it's like
so we got a problem, but I believe we're gonna work it out. That's part of faith. We gotta have faith that God's gonna work it out. So yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So final thoughts here. So when it comes to, I'll speak for myself, but when it comes to our culture, I'm very much that person. I think I've grown to be that person, but over time, I've grown to be that person where I always do feel a sense of like ancestors are on my back in a way, or a sense of this person did all of this for me without seeing my face, without knowing me, did all of this for me, like truly died, was beaten, all of these things, still marched, still did everything that they can. This was specifically done so that that next generation can be able to have this freedom. That next generation can see the example of what it is to not stop, to not quit, because there's still definitely some work that needs to be done even now. And I was watching a brief little clip of this documentary on HBO called The Shop. It's basically like, and it had Barack Obama was on there, who was being interviewed, and he was basically talking about kind of like the injustice and what's going on right now. I was having a talk with LeBron James and another gentleman, I can't remember his name. But basically one of the things he was saying was, it would be a true betrayal to our ancestors if any of us were to stop the fight. If any of us were to stop to continue for that justice. He's like, it would truly be a betrayal to our ancestors to just be like, okay, I'm done. It's like, we don't have that option. He's like, it may be frustrating and, you know, things like that. He's like, but to say I'm done, I'm stopping, he's like, that would be a true betrayal to your ancestors. And I truly felt that way when it was Barack Obama's second term and we were voting, and I had come back down here for it, and I had to go vote in person. And I went to go vote, and we were sitting at the church. I remember the first church we went to, we were out there for maybe like an hour, maybe a little bit more. Went up there, they're like, oh, we were at the wrong spot. So I had to go to another spot, and you were with me too. I had to go to Trinity Church. That was the actual right place for me to go, for me to vote. And I remember you were like, well, it's okay, you tried, we went. And I was like, no, I have to go. I was like, no, there are people that have died and fought, and I'm like, I have to do that. I was like, no. And in that moment, that's really when I felt like, I have to go. I got my headphones, I'm fine.
But you know, I was excited about that because I was thinking, well, at least you tried. But you had in you, I don't want to stop. I got to get my vote in. And I realized it was just bigger than the vote. We realized that we have this black man that's a president, and he needs as
many other people as possible.
And you were willing to do that. I was happy that I voted. At least I got mine in. You want to get yours in too. So I do understand, but it lets me know that you're an adult woman. You have your children, but it's good to let me know that I did something right. You know. So I can say, as we know, I know we're going to wrap everything up, but I can say I'm excited. And I should be excited, no matter really what color you are. But Black history and the history and the things that we have accomplished, and as far as we have come, you know, as Black people, you know, I think the tragedy would be if we forget that we got here because of what you said, because of the struggle, because of the fight. That LeBron James, whoever we listened to, that we got here, it wasn't easy. It was a fight. And we were willing to do it. John Lewis, I remember him saying in the interview, I thought I was going to die that day. But he felt it was worth dying for. And now look, where we have come. We still got a long way to go. But I think if we can get rid of systemic racism
and be honest about what happened and not try to make it like a cover-up type of thing, which I don't understand. It's like, be honest. Just say this happened. It was horrific. We're gonna make it right. That's it. That's for like, I don't understand how it's so crazy for us to be like, let's be honest about this. It's one of those things with America where we're not honest about the racism and the slavery that went on for the longest time, 400 years. But we really didn't truly have our freedom, but really only for maybe like 50 years. And even during that time frame, we were still fighting in the process. So you can't really say that. Like, oh, just let it go or just forget. No, you guys need to be upfront and honest in regards to what happened, what you did. This is not okay. We have to make it right. And go from there.
So don't get angry when you do have black people say, if there's some money in there. There's a word for that. And so don't get angry because that is being said, because you got to think about 400 years of our ancestors of free labor. So I think it's only the right thing to do. And not saying you're looking for a handout, but I heard Reverend R. Sharpton say, just get your foot off of my neck and breathe, and then you will see me grow. But it still doesn't mean that there's no back pay for the pain. 400 years really behind where we need to be. So if we understand and wait, gotta still push, gotta still fight, don't give up the fight, but keep praying.
Get your toe in, get in there.
Stay in there, but trust God that He's gonna make it right for us. So that's my kind of like my takeaway and my final word.
I have one more final word because I'm just like that person. I will say this. I'll end it like this. What I love, though, I think it's good and bad with anything. What I truly love about black people, my peoples, is we truly made our own culture. We truly are the only culture that truly had to start over. Our name was taken away. Our rights were taken away. Our children were taken away. We literally, truly had to completely, how are we going to get through this? Not by just living. Over years and years and years, of course, time, we've truly cultivated our own culture in regards to Harlem Renaissance. That was truly like the booming time frame for black people. This is where blues came in, this is where jazz came in, this is where fashion came in, all of those things. Exactly. And like we truly built our own, we truly had that time of we're together, we're gonna do this together, and truly made our own culture. In regards to hip hop, that's when we truly were like, this is our music, this is what we're going to do. That's why I truly love that. That's what makes me smile. What I really love about it, we truly had to make our own. Was like
even rhythm and blues.
Like, how do you make something out of nothing? We're like, okay, we're gonna figure this out, and we did it.
Resilient.
We really did. We really did. We still found a way to smile through through the whole process. So
never forget where we come from. That would be the tragedy, is forgetting where we come from.
Because there are some people that do wish forget. Because there's still some people that's like, I don't want that status quo to change. I want you to still be right here. I don't want you coming up here with me, because that means we're equal.
Right.
We really are equal. But you need to stay down here. So unfortunately, there's still those persons that don't feel that way. But I'm gonna still keep going. So those are vital and important. So I have raised children. I still have a husband that I pray for and concerned about when he goes out. I want him to be okay. I want my children to be okay. You know, all those things. So we're gonna keep going.
Never stop. Never stop.
But thank you guys again for allowing us to be here with you again for another episode of Talks with Dad. Anything that we talk about here, again, any scriptures, anything you want to recap on, can be found on our blog, www.sassysexysave.com. There you can find all the information here, learn a little bit about me. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you guys back here next week.
And I don't have a problem with questions.
There's no problem with questions, so we'll try and get some questions next week for an answer, okay?
Good.
All right, bye, guys.